discussing the distribution of vaccines. I am for getting it to those who need it most urgently, aka those with the greatest risk factor, which is the elderly. Anybody over the age of 70, 65, wherever you put the line, should automatically get the vaccine before virtually anybody else aside of maybe healthcare workers who are exposed to COVID on a continual basis. Somebody suggested that we distribute it based on race. Those who have been historically oppressed, they said, should receive it first. I said, what? This is a form of reparations. This is not science. I thought that the Democrats, which this person was, is a party that follows the science. I thought that would be the conversation closer, that they would have to agree. Of course, they pulled a little ace out of the hole that they always have. Racist, they call you. Racist. Well, it's very difficult to cancel me. And Lord knows it's been tried. But those who I feel most bad for are those who have similar beliefs, who are scared to espouse them because they fear that they are going to be canceled by a very vocal, irrational, and mean, dare I say it, mean, evil minority. Minority in terms of the fact that they are a small subset of the population that are flexing their cancel muscles in order to drive people's views underground and make their lives absolutely miserable. They do this to corporations. They threaten to boycott them. The truth is that these people only have power because we allow them to have power. If we all collectively stood up in unison against them and silenced them, they would go back to their little caves where they live. These frickin' trolls that want to do damage throughout society in order that their views become the accepted norm of the day. The ever-shifting definition of racism continues to morph little by little, and a lot of people are succumbing to the pressures for fear of being canceled. Is it cowardly? Of course it is. However, they are naturally in fear of being able to provide for their families, so they just zip it. They keep quiet. The problem is that the more power that these a-holes gain, the greater they are going to be flexing the muscles. Right now, you're seeing it happen in Congress, where Congressman Jamal Bowman gets to cry out the myth of American exceptionalism, likely somebody who has never traveled anywhere in this world, does not know how the rest of the world lives, does not know how much America has provided freedom, even if imperfectly, for the rest of the planet. And yet he gets to call out the myth of American exceptionalism and say anytime that there is progress, that is white backlash. This is openly racist, as I've stated before, and yet people like this are advancing the cause at the highest levels of our government. And this is becoming the de facto talking point that people are no longer standing up to. All these people that want to claim that America is sexist, yet have never gone to Saudi Arabia or anywhere in the Middle East and see how women are actually treated, how they are forced to wear a burqa in 100+ degree weather covering their faces. And when I asked them on the beaches of Jordan why this is, when it's 90% humidity and 110 degrees outside, they tell me it's because they don't have a choice. That is what they say in confidence when they are not talking necessarily to somebody else from their culture who would hold them responsible for their statements. In their mind, it was being stated anonymously. If the US is such a problem, sexist-wise, then why don't you go somewhere where it's a real problem? And LeBron James, you want to talk about how evil America is, and yet you take the money from China? When China is committing slaughter against the Uyghurs, they are putting them in re-education camps. Literally, they are harvesting their organs and selling them to Saudi Arabia, likely under the brand of halal. Sorry to make a bad joke. I want a little bit of levity in this because this is actually quite serious. Yet LeBron James and all these other NBA people kowtow to China for one reason: money. You want the money? Go get the money, okay? All right, I understand that. Money drives a lot of people, but spare us the hypocritical civics lesson that you intend on distilling throughout our entire nation, believing that you are a modicum of your virtue when you're not. Collectively, we must stand against this narcissistic, dictatorial, authoritarian nature that the left has that wants us to be able to adopt their views hook, line, and sinker. And we have to do this by standing up collectively and doing so. is hypocritical, and the left doesn't care about hypocrisy. They care about power. They care about their views being swallowed by everyone. That's why they are inundating the education system with their Marxist viewpoints, with the fact that the 1619 Project is entered in there as the de facto lesson in America, but decried by historians, both liberal and conservative, as being falsely framed, that America was founded and to protect the institution of slavery. This is a falsehood. And the 1776 Project was called by Joe Biden as being spiteful and hateful. Well, that is false. What you are purveying is what is the poison for America. And once again, stand up against these people that try to use the term racist to describe you when you're not racist. You can't convince me that I'm racist because I'm not. You can't convince me that I'm homophobic because it ain't so. You can't convince me that I'm misogynistic because, okay, maybe my wife's not wrong about that one. What I'm telling you guys is I know that there might be repercussions, but if we collectively stand up against the madness, that is the one way that it can stop. When we tell these people to sit their ass back down and keep their crazy ideas to themselves rather than attempting to force people to adopt these horrific beliefs. I weep for America if we continue down this road. And being called a racist because I'm the one that doesn't favor distributing vaccine based on race, but rather on morbidity and the chance of dying from the disease, and they call me the racist, just look right in the mirror, buddy. Just look right in the mirror, because that is the definition of racism. Of course, once again, you morph the definition to meet whatever serves your needs in the moment. Peace and blessings, everybody. If you're new, subscribe, like this video, thumb it up, turn that like button so you get a little endorphin hit, I promise. And most of all, just have a fantastic day. Stand up for what's right in America before we lose the liberty and ability and freedom to do so. Peace out, everybody.